I hate the rule. I hate the rule. I hated it. I hate it as much as I hated the tuck rule. I hate it as much as I hated the catch rule. I hate this rule. And the rule is if you fumble into the end zone and out of it, it is a touchback. You lose possession of the ball. It is assumed that the defense is recovering it, or the defense is given the benefit of the doubt. You have fumbled it in the end zone, and you lose possession of the ball like a defensive player hopped on top of it. The reasons why I hate this are twofold. One is in the case of last night. Great defensive play to knock the ball out, and Lewis reaches for the end zone and shouldn't be doing that. He didn't need to. They could have gotten a first down. And our Saints fan in the coordinating producer's chair, Don Bowie, told me during the commercial break he thought it was a bad play call too because the guy's going out of bounds. You want the clock to be running. Certainly, if you're not going to get in the end zone and you're just going to kick a field goal, and when you're running towards that in that direction, odds are you're going to go out of bounds and you're helping the opponent. Placing all that aside, can you really tell if that ball went through the end zone? Can you really tell that ball, as it's flying in the air, actually went to the left side of the pylon and through, or on the right side of the pylon? You can't tell. And that's why, after further review, the play, quote unquote, stood as called. And I know we're seeing it on top of the pylon cam, and you could see it flying over the top of the pylon. You have absolutely no idea, based on the camera that's on top of it, whether that angle is to the left or the right. You could say it's to the left. You have no idea. How many times are you looking up from a pylon? Can you really tell that went over the left side of the pylon?
Yeah, but
Can you really
it
do
looked
that?
like it, but you could say that about spotting any ball on any play. You could say that about field goals that go over the upright.
I'm saying to the naked eye, the official had a decision to make right then and there, fully knowing that you are giving possession to the other team back. It is a huge call. It's a coin flip. It's a total toss-up. It is an absolute toss-up, which is why when after further review, they stood. It's not confirmed. It wasn't confirmed. You can't tell. Half the time, you cannot tell if it really did go out of bounds or not. And the other part of it that I have a problem with is that if it did go out of bounds, or had it been fumbled a half inch short of the goal line, ball would have stayed with the offense. But just because it goes an extra 2 inches, it goes to the defense. Anywhere else on the field, a ball fumbled out of bounds goes back to the offense, either at the spot or, depending on the down and distance and how much time's left in the half, back to the spot at which it was fumbled. Why don't you do that here? Because the end zone is vaunted territory.
You're defending the end zone, and they defended it by forcing a fumble.
I know.
Why are we taking away what the defense created and giving it back to the... Look, the rule changes in this league in the last decade or so have been only for the benefit of the offense. So why are we going to change this rule to benefit the offense one more time?
Because it's right. That's why. Because it's right.
What's right about it?
The defense allowed Drew Brees and the offense to stroll all the way down there, or battle their way all the way down there. And with 1/2 inch to go, just because it was fumbled at that point as opposed to another 2 inches further, you're going to get the ball back just because. Why? It's your end zone? That's your territory that you were giving up so many yards for the team to get close enough to get to? That makes no sense to me. Just because why? It's vaunted, hallowed ground.
Why should it go back to the offense? They're the ones that made the mistake.
Because it goes back to the offense on 100 other yards on the field. That's why. If it was the same way that you fumble it out of bounds and then the ball goes to the defense because you fumbled it out of bounds, then why give the ball back to the offense on the other 100 yards?
It's not the end zone.
But what's the difference about the end zone?
What do you mean what's the difference? You get points for getting into the end zone.
I get it.
And they defended that zone by knocking the ball free.
I get it. But just because you get points for getting in the end zone, why does it mean that you lose possession of the football because you fumble into it? That makes no sense. I understand you get points getting, that's the idea, is you get points by creasing the property. Right. That's the way you get points.
And they prevented them from doing that, so you're just going to give it back to the offense?
Yes, because that's the way. Look, we can obviously go back and forth on this. Some might agree with you. I would call those people wrong. Some
And
may
just,
agree
just
with
like
me.
I would say
know.
the people who agree with you are wrong.
844-204-RICH. Number to dial. It just makes no sense to me. And I'm not just one of those people that rails against something with no other idea for it. I say you either give the ball back to where the team that fumbled it, where they fumbled it, or if you want to make it very punitive, shy of losing the football entirely, you put it back at the 20-yard line and call it whatever in goal from there. It's now 3rd and goal from the 20.
So essentially make it a penalty, a 15-yard or 10-yard, whatever.
Well, it depends on. It's probably it's a 20-yard penalty. You're right there at the goal line. You fumbled it in, so you keep the down the same. So it's either if you do it on first down,
but
it's first and goal from the 20.
You're still giving them the opportunity for point. You're essentially giving them 3 points.
Just because again, if you
why should you get points for fumbling? You fumbled. You screwed up.
So
the defense defended their zone.
I got it. So here's the thing here, okay? Here's the thing. Your point is the following. You fumble the ball, you should lose possession of it if it is in the end zone because the end zone is vaunted ground.
Yes.
My point is that you should not lose the football just because it was in that end zone. It still should be a penalty, but you shouldn't lose possession. We're going to ask Dean Blandino what the point of all this is and why it's different, because I believe he's going to take your point of view rather than mine. 844-204-RICH, number to dial. And let's go to Rob in Pennsylvania. Let's get Rob in Pennsylvania here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
What's up?
I'm not on your side on this one either with the fumble rule. As a matter of fact, I want to take it one step further because, like your colleague was saying there, the offense gets rewarded too much. I think any fumble out of bounds should go to the defense because it should be your responsibility to keep possession. And if the defense takes it from you and it goes out of bounds, you just lost the ball. They should get it.
All right,
I don't
Rob.
care where it is on the field.
Then that's the way it should be, at least. Thanks for the call. Because to me, it makes no sense to me if you fumble it on the 1-inch line, it's your ball. You fumble it 2 inches further north, and it's no longer your ball. Makes no sense to me. It's really, really, really punitive.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.